why you're missing it. It's Daniel Ricciardo PR season. I have not missed Australia.
But this, oh my God. Honestly, it was a shambles. Welcome to Wheelie Up, where three Black women talk all things Formula One. We're so happy to be with you today. I know it's a late one, but boy, we had to get on for this. I'm Simone.
Hi, I'm Shanice.
Hey guys, I'm Anita.
I just feel all so chill today. We're all just really chilled out. Like I was like, is that my cue? Do I come in now?
Yeah, but we're not really chill though, are we? We're not really chill. I mean, come on, man. Like the weekend that we've had. Okay, so we obviously was meant to record this yesterday, but we won't get into that. We were tired. We had things. We and Nick were
We
out.
had things to do.
Girls out for the winning awards, just letting everyone know.
We were out. We were tired. It was fun. But let me tell you about Sunday. Sunday morning. Oh, baby. It was like Jesus rose. That's what it was like. It was.
Easter weekend soon come.
You know, Jesus said resurrection coming early. Oh my God.
Arise. Arise. I hope Jesus arises again this Sunday because it's another early Sunday. Boy.
He rose and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So we had Australian Grand Prix, and if you've been watching Formula One for years, you'll know that this used to be the opening race of the season. It used to be Australia until it changed. So it's great to see Australia again. Like I didn't realize how much I actually missed it, because the first two opening races were a bit like, oh my God, like
I've not missed Australia. I don't know why you're missing it. It's Daniel Ricciardo PR season. I have not missed Australia.
I didn't miss it either, because I remember last year being dead. I just remember last year, Simone, you waking up early in the morning for no reason. Am I right in thinking it was that one?
Yeah.
It was that one.
I did.
No reason.
But you know why I liked it? Because I was like, it just signified the start of the season. Like it was just like the start of the season has begun. Right, it's Australia. We get it. I didn't wake up early for this actually, because my work was cancelled, so I didn't have to get up early. So I watched it later on, unfortunately, because I was meant to start work at 10, finish at like 2:30 Sunday morning. So by the time I would have got home, it would have been time for the race. But that didn't happen. So I watched it in real time. No, not real time, later. Unfortunately, when I woke up, I opened Instagram, which I really shouldn't have done. I don't know why I did. I don't know why. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have. But then I was like, well, I'm gonna find out anyway. Because when you don't watch a race live, like you're gonna know the result regardless. I feel like. So it is what it is. But
do you know what? I didn't watch the whole race like live. I didn't watch it. So I thought it started at 5 a.m. I don't know why I thought that.
I didn't know it started at 4.
But it started at 4. So
I don't know how you guys didn't know it started at 4. I sent round a schedule to everyone.
I
sent it around with the race start times and the recording dates. It was all in there. It's all in the schedule.
Listen,
but I think I've only gone up to Japan, so I need to like do another schedule.
Please, and I'm only your schedule. I'm only listening to your schedule because I really woke up around like 4:15, and I thought, you know what, I've still got some time, so like I'm chilling, and at 5 I put it onto the race, and like the first thing I see is Verstappen out, Hamilton out. So I thought, what the fuck? I thought, what happened that I just missed? Because if Verstappen and Hamilton went blow for blow again, it just gave me so much PTSD. I was thinking Monza. I was thinking freaking Saudi. I was thinking so many different things from 2021. My head was spinning. I was hot. I went straight to the timer like, what the hell happened? Why are Verstappen and Hamilton out? Someone please tell me. But then to find out that Verstappen had a freaking, what even happened? Was it his tire? Was it an engine failure? What the hell was it?
He had a mechanical failure, and apparently something like this had happened. It happened before, actually. In
Australia, isn't it?
Yeah, it happened before that they've had this mechanical failure. So maybe Australia is not his lucky place. But let me tell you, it was absolutely beautiful. Now, the race weekend, a lot of stuff happened, but I'm just going to get into the race first, and then we can talk about this stuff with Williams and other stuff with FIA and Susie and whatnot after. So, I didn't actually watch qualifying. Actually, where was I? I don't know. I was probably
Yeah,
sleeping. Did I?
where were you, Simone? Because I actually had a valid reason for not watching it. I was away. Where were you?
I don't even remember. Damn.
The other thing that was making me laugh,
Funny face.
right? Why are you
Investigate
saying
after
that
the
face?
episode.
Pardon?
We will investigate where you were after the episode.
Right? That's what I'm thinking now. I'm thinking, okay,
Hmm.
maybe it's something that can't be recorded. Or having said that, we're always recording things that shouldn't be recorded. We just have to get Jojo, our editor, to cut them out. Then bless him, he actually does. um, it was funny you guys were talking about the spoilers though, because I was away, I actually tried to make a point of not checking into any spoilers. And I am so glad that I didn't, because I just watched the race now before we jumped onto this pod. So now I feel that all that adrenaline that you guys had over the weekend, like access and spoilers, watching those, I feel like I've got that right now. So take us away.
It's time to take a lap.
And speaking of
I'm
spoilers,
ready. I got a second. I got ready.
speaking of spoilers though, the one spoiler I got was from Ola. So our old editor Ola, I think he DM'd me and was like, "Yo, Hamilton P11," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" And that's the only bit that I knew from qualifying. I was like, "Hold on a second, P11. What the hell happened? You didn't even get into like Q1. I mean Q3." I was like, "What happened?" So anyway, obviously Max has qualified first. We've got Carlos second, Sergio Perez third, Lando fourth.
Shout out to Big Dog Carlos, by the way, 2 weeks after
Big dog.
competition.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Dog Carlos was doing his thing. So George was 7th, Lewis was 11th. Even Lance even got himself into 9, P9. What else? Lance.
Oh my God, yeah, he did.
Stroll.
Yeah.
You say who? Like, you didn't remember who?
Because people are forgetting that he's there now. People
I
are
keep
forgetting.
forgetting. I promise you, like, it's not even disrespect to Lance Stroll. I keep forgetting that he is there. He's a valid member of the F1 community. Like, sometimes I forget. But yeah, no, do you know what is so crazy? The same thing happened with qualifying. That happened with the race. I got my times mixed up again. And by the time I had signed into my Now TV to start watching, I saw Lewis Hamilton was not in Q3. So
Yeah.
I turned it straight back off. I had no business. I
No
had
business
no
watching.
business watching. No business.
Yeah, it was kind of sad still. I was like, damn. But all weekend, Lewis had to come out and he said the pace in his car is basically crap. He wasn't one with it. He didn't know what was happening. He could not get to grips with what was happening with the car. Mercedes was struggling on this track all weekend. And normally sometimes when with our practice and qualifying and Mercedes haven't performed too well, sometimes I'm like, okay, cool, but I'll wait to race day, because race day is where you can actually see a little bit more pace, and I feel like that's where you get to see shit. But this, oh my God, honestly, it was a shambles, an
And
absolute shambles.
do you know what? Like, I just feel like, okay, for the George Russell fans that, watch us and listen to us, right? I do want to give George his plaudits for quality, right? He exerted everything that he could from that car and he got into P7. Fine, cool. But what is the discrepancy between Hamilton's car and Russell's car? No one can tell me in 2024 that George Russell is just a better driver, because he's not, right? Nobody can tell me that. No one can tell me George is just better at qualifying than Lewis, because he's not. What is going on with Lewis Hamilton's car? I need explanations, PEE, point evidence explanation, the entire thing, because none of it is making sense to me. Does anyone got any answers for me?
Do you know what was making me laugh about that, Anita, is that I made a note in my notes after watching the race to say the same thing about Perez. I'm not saying that he's a better driver than Max, but a point that I made was I'm pretty sure it was this time last, because I remember last season they were like a 1-2 win every week up until around about now. And then something kept happening to Perez's car, and we were like, oh, is it against Perez? You heard it here first, blah, blah, blah. And I made the same note to say about Perez. I'm not saying he's a better driver than Max, but I am saying it just feels weird that he doesn't seem to be performing again. Maybe Australia isn't his best race, but I just thought that, for him to come out like P5, not even beat the Ferraris, not beat the McLarens, I was like, what's going on with Perez's car? Anyway, same note.
Is completely different. And I think a lot of people have been saying this for a while, like, why is Lewis's car so different to George? Like, what is happening here? Why is the setup so, the disparity is huge.
And do you know what I find scary? I read a quote that Toto was basically like, oh, we need to be testing out different setups all the way up until race days for the rest of the season. And I'm just like, so is that gonna be on Lewis? Is Lewis gonna have to be doing all of these? Do you remember the 2022 car, that diabolical car where Lewis was doing a different setup every single week? Are we going back to those times? Because if we are,
he had to go with his back.
bruh.
Oh
That
my
season,
God.
and remember, he had to do like different setups for the team to kind of figure out what's going wrong with their car. If that's what we're in for the rest of the season, I need to know so I can prepare emotionally, mentally, physically. I will not be watching a lot of the races because obviously I'm so invested in F1, right? I try my best to watch all the races every single season, but 3 seasons running, enough is enough. Like, I don't know how much more I can take of it. Obviously, Carlos Sainz winning is a bonus for me. We'll come to that later. But Carlos Sainz winning is a bonus for me, yeah. But Lewis Hamilton continuously suffering is something I don't want to watch. It's kind of like watching your child suffer. You don't want to watch it.
I feel like what you're talking about now is embodying exactly how Lewis feels, and which is why maybe he's making that move to Ferrari in 2025. He probably needs to prepare himself. He probably already prepared himself mentally, physically for this season. Was like, I need to get out now. So that's why it was announced so early. I need to get out now.
Even listening to like his post race conference, not football, but listening to his post race interview, right? He just sounds like he's over it. I've never heard Lewis sound like he's given up, but he just sounds like he's given up. Like he's just like, it is what it is, man. Like that's how he sounds right now. So he's either mentally checked out or he really just doesn't give a shit anymore. One of the two. Do you know what? Two of those things can be true.
I think it's a bit of both because Lewis is so positive and he always has some element of positivity to say after everything. But lately, it's just like he's just giving it to you, like, "Well, I'm over." He's just like, "I'm actually over this whole situation." So in terms of the race, obviously Max was leading, and then lap 2, Carlos takes the lead, and I was like, "How long is this gonna last?" Carlos, how long is this gonna last? Then you see, when I started seeing smoke from Max's car, beautiful scenes. I was like, wow, look at this. Oh my gosh. It was absolutely beautiful. Like the car was, when you're watching it and you can see his name just dropping down the grid. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Why can't this happen more often? Like, it was actually beautiful to see. Yeah, he had a mechanical failure. It's happened last time they were in Australia, actually.
2022.
And I was very, very much here for it. So that was great. And so that meant that Carlos really did take the lead of this race and just ran with it. And he literally drove to survive. And bear in mind, this is a man that ended up having food poisoning, then had his appendix, was in hospital, had an operation, and he's come back to work. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, Carlos, I don't know if you should be here this week. Like, you might want to just like ease up a little bit. You remember when Lance Stroll had his bike accident at the start of last season and he came back really early, and it was like, Lance, I don't know, like, you've had an operation, you were in hospital, he looked sick. Carlos looked sick. You know when someone's walking like every step looked like it pained the hell out of him. Like every step was like, I can't move. So to see him jump in that car, no, he didn't jump in the car. He literally just carefully placed himself in the car because obviously he was still kind of hurt. And to see him win a race, and I know he was in pain because he just come out of hospital. Beautiful from Carlos. Beautiful.
The thing is, right, he had no business even being in an F1 car. Like you said, I was looking at him like, baby, go home. Baby,
okay.
He's even lost weight.
Health over everything.
Bruh, but Not gonna lie, yeah. If somebody told me that I was gonna get my appendix taken out and then a couple weeks later I'm gonna win a race, I will, if even if I have one leg, I will limp to my car and make sure that I race that race. So I get it. Like as athletes, like you want to go ahead and give it your, especially because he hasn't got a job for next year as well. And I feel like all that pressure is just something that he's trying to kind of maintain a little bit, you know, so that people don't forget about him in the process. He can be out for one race, which he was, and Oliver Beerman had to freaking step in. He can be out for one race and everyone forgets about him. And that's how bad it's good. That's how bad it could have.
Exactly that. And that was the point that I was thinking. I think it's more about that Carlos has something to prove. Not only does he not have a seat for next year, but actually, I mean, maybe rookie is the right word actually, but some rookie came in last week and, you know, got in the top 10, beat a whole load of very experienced drivers on the track. So it's kind of like, oh, well, how can he come in and do that, having not really used that car before, and yet someone like Carlos and Charles Leclerc aren't winning races? So I think it's more about the fact that he has something to prove, and he needed to prove it. And I feel like we've talked a lot on this podcast about how, you know, Big Dog Carlos, that was the name of one of our episodes last season. You know, we want Carlos to succeed. We want him to show that he has got that dog in him. He has got that drive. But at some points in the season, he tends to just dip a little bit. And I think if this didn't prove, one, how intense this sport really is, but two, how hard he's willing to push it and push himself to win a race and hopefully find, you know, a new seat next season. But I was super excited actually to watch him lead that race, and it happened quite early on, and I was quite anxious for most of the race, thinking, oh my god, this can't last any longer. Oh my god, someone's going to overtake him. Oh my god, Carlos isn't going to win, but I really want him to win. All these things, but you know what, he proved me wrong. He proved my anxiety wrong, and that was the best feeling ever at the race. So yeah, woo woo.
That brings me to well, going for Leclerc.
This guy is so lucky he was in a contract so long enough to keep him in 2025. I mean, don't get me wrong, he did finish second. Don't get me wrong, it's a very good place to finish. But even we said last season, I'm sure the better driver was Carlos Sainz in Ferrari. I'm sure.
It was. It really was. But I don't know what death row contract Leclerc is in with Ferrari. But did Ferrari make a mistake in with Leclerc and let it go Sainz?
I think we might have. And Carlos said, I'm going to show you who you should have signed. I'm going to show you who can win a race. Okay? I'm going to show you. Because Carlos said, I'm gone. He was out there doing his thing. And you know what I like to see? There was no like, oh, are we swapping cars? What the strategy is, blah, blah, blah. I did hear a strategy A, and I was like, okay, cool. That must mean win, because I don't know what else we're doing after strategy A. So I was happy that they didn't have that. And I was like, but Charles, where were you, baby?
And the thing is, even if they had that, Carlos don't owe nobody nothing.
He ain't got to follow no orders.
Nothing.
Now I'm just out here to get my wins in a seat, bro.
Period.
Man said I'm unemployed next year.
Yeah.
I love the fact that Carlos made such a big deal out of that. He was like, yeah, and I'm still unemployed. Anytime he could say he's unemployed, he said, yeah, I'm still unemployed.
Your job? I need a job.
You're not unemployed for long. There's a seat for you, honey. I promise you.
I feel like this might be the best season we see out of Carlos Sainz. But having said that, I really hope he doesn't overdo it, because he has had an operation like 2 weeks ago. If you think about the pressure that your body is under sitting in those cars at that speed, I was so worried about like his stitches and whatever he's had to have done. I was thinking someone's going to pop out. Something's going to happen. Yeah. So I just really do hope that he doesn't overdo it and he can take a little bit of rest time.
I remember when I got my appendix taken out, blood clot. I was done for at least 2 to 3 weeks. Like, I was in bed. I was not doing a damn thing. Huh?
2 to 3 weeks. And here's Carlos jumping in the F1 car.
Exactly.
Anyway, boy, and he said he didn't even prepare properly.
He had no time to.
He had no time to prepare. So I'm still looking at Leclerc like.
Carlos came from hospital to win. He came from hospital to Australia. Do you know how shameful that is for you? And you're the one with the contract.
Well,
Boy,
let's see how it how the rest of the season unfolds on this one, because I think we should keep a very close eye on the whole Ferrari team, Charles, Carlos, and everything, because I think it is going to be a bit of dog eat dog out there. You know, I
and we're
really
here for it.
I'm here for it, absolutely. This is a sort of like fight that we needed from last season, the season before that. This is
Yeah, fam.
From when he won at Silverstone, was it last season? He should have carried on. He should
Yeah,
absolutely.
this is what I mean. Sometimes he just dips in the season, and it's like, no, a week ago we were repping you on the podcast, and now you ain't coming through. And predominantly it was me, because Ferrari were my team, and they kept letting me down, and you guys are cussing me out.
I ain't even gonna lie, ever since like the first rumors of Lewis going Ferrari came about, he downloaded that dog in him. He downloaded it.
Yeah.
Towards the end of last season, he started getting good. I don't know where his pace came from. He was the faster Ferrari car. The clerk couldn't match his times. Remember Singapore? Singapore, when he won the race, when Max Verstappen couldn't win, he won that race. No one matched what he was doing with Lando Norris, so that Lando Norris can still get second and he can still keep him in DRS. All of that.
That was like
Smart
driver.
strategy.
Man. Yo, you were doing skills.
Yeah.
Brain.
Until you said that, I was thinking Singapore. See, because you guys always have better memories of me. I'm like, Singapore. I don't know why I want to Singapore, but the same time, I was like, I remember raising the strategy.
He was like, yo, stay close to me, yeah? Stay close and get DRS.
Oh, that race was amazing.
That was one of the best moments in Formula One, because you're watching two teams battle against one other person. But the other thing actually to raise is, do you think that Max not being in this race basically had like a massive effect on people? I feel like at this point, when Max has gone out, everyone's thinking, wait a minute, Max isn't here. Well, then anyone can win. So let me push. And I feel like it gives drivers confidence to feel like, actually, this is anyone's game now. This is anyone's race. So actually, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm just going to push. We'll talk about George later. I don't know if he pushed too hard or what happened at the end there, but I don't know. But, push. Push, but not too hard, George, push.
I think, like you just said, Shanice, with people thinking and they can win, because of obviously Max being so fast and whatnot. But I think Carlos had that in him from the moment he got to Australia, because the way he took off at the start of the race, it was like no fear. It was like, I don't care if Max is here. I don't care. He didn't care. And you know what?
He overtook Max at one point, and that's when I was like, okay, we in for a race here.
Exactly. And you know what? Daniel Ricciardo, take note, because exactly what Carlos Sainz is doing is exactly what you should have done. Okay? If you want to keep your seat at RB, like if you want to stay employed, then
I'm not here to talk about Daniel Ricciardo this week. I know it was the Australia Grand Prix. I know it's his home race, but I am not here to talk about Daniel Ricciardo this week, because he is my new Bottas. He is my new Haas guy. Do you know what I mean? I'm just going to end up cussing him as much as I do everybody. Like, what? I can't talk about him.
No, honestly, we shouldn't be talking about a 34-year-old man that is competing for a seat with somebody of his junior. This is the junior Red Bull team. Junior. And you're 34 and you're there competing. You're barely competing, so no one's wiping the floor with you. Sorry, let's move on. Anyway.
All right. So can we, sorry, you just mentioned Bottas, but I just want to we need to mention Bottas and the failures that are happening over at whether it's Steak or Kick, whatever they want to call themselves, Steak and Chips, Kick, whatever, I don't know. They always change their name every race. It's a different techer. All I know, you got the green car. That's how I can spot you on the grid. And they are having some serious issues with their pitting. Bottas has had, like, I think, a record longest pit stops. And that ain't a record you want, baby. Like, they're having failures again with their wheel nut, and Bottas is just staying stationary for how long? And it's like, obviously, it's affecting his race. And I'm like, you used to be Lewis's number 2, and you've come from that to this. The four is just, oh my gosh. Anywho, so what happened next? Yes, lap 17, engine failure for Sir Lewis Hamilton. And I was like,
Was that all the way in lap 17?
Yeah.
Damn, he should have stayed at home. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Wow, that'll be an interesting one. Yeah, who's our stay home gonna be?
Yeah,
Should have stayed
it
at
was,
home.
it was just, it was abysmal. When the car stopped, I was like, no, this can't, no, come on.
But was it like a full like, meh, or was it like eventual? Was he complaining for a couple of laps? What happened?
He did say that something was wrong, and he actually kept saying, "Well, them man are fast, them man are fast." It was like Lewis was seeing everyone just like pew, pew. He was like, that car's really fast. I was like, Lewis, how many times are you gonna say that car's fast? We get it. Like your car is shit. We understand. So it was quite
Known
sad.
that for the last 2 years.
You know what I mean?
He needed to give gentle reminders to his team. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
One
Yeah.
thing I would say though is that, it comparing, let's say, when Lewis had to leave the track to when Max left the track. I don't know if it's because Lewis is mentally checked out and is like, I just don't care anymore. I just cannot. But I would say at least he wasn't as didn't come across as mad as what Max was, because Max was giving Mad Max vibes.
Yeah, of course. But
I just remember seeing him like swearing at somebody and saying, effing stupid,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah to somebody. And I'm like, you can't carry on like that.
humans.
These things do happen. And I get it, it's his street, but it's just weird because he comes across when he's won, like so humble. Oh, it was so good. We had such a good race, blah, blah, blah. And then when it all goes wrong, he's there cussing everybody and being all mean.
That's
All I can say
Max.
is, I know, but at least Lewis has a bit more, I don't know,
Grace.
humility, grace, yeah, than that. Personable skills, I don't know.
And do you know what? People will go back to when Lewis was like in the car with what's his name? What's that useless guy? Nico Rosberg. And when they used to crash out and Lewis used to be fuming, or when he was with Alonso and he used to tell like his team, like, you need to give me the same fuel as that you give Alonso, blah, blah, blah. People will go back and say, well, Lewis wasn't always gracious, yeah. But I don't think Lewis will cuss somebody out the way Max cusses people out. Max, yeah. And this is what I love and hate about him. He takes losing much more serious than he should. Losing is a big thing, 100%. But the way he handles it, it's like a child that has never been taught to lose gracefully. And that's what my problem is with him. Like, brother, you have an engine or whatever, mechanical failure. Bro, there's still how many races left in the freaking, what's it called, in the freaking calendar year? Why are you so pissed off about this?
But
You know you won't win all of them.
you won how many in a row last season, and you're pissed.
He's angry that he couldn't win 10 in a row. Honey.
Good.
10. I'm sure he's won way more than 10 in a row. It wasn't this like his 43rd consecutive, or maybe it was his consecutive finish. Oh.
Yeah. 'Cause I think he was trying to come for Lewis Hamilton's record, but baby, you gotta start again. Gotta start again. You gotta start again. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's the GOAT. Start again. Sorry, I had to do that. Apologies.
Yeah, no, but it was needed, and I'm glad.
It was needed. And to finish it off, the only other note I took was lap 58, where George crashed, ended up on his side, like a side piece, and he was just, just.
I am so shy for him.
I'm sorry, I should laugh.
I am so shy for car 63. I am so shy. How embarrassing.
I mean, at least he's okay. Like, he got out, he wasn't injured, but to have your car on the side like that, he was giving.
How embarrassing.
Yeah.
Do you know when cows tip on their side and they can't get up? That was him. That is so embarrassing, honey. What happened to your four wheels? Sweetheart. And then they gave Alonso, did they give him a 20-second penalty?
Brake tested. I mean, let me double check because I can't remember how much the penalty was, but he basically said he was brake tested, and people that don't know what brake tested means, it's basically like when you deliberately hit your brake several times, and the car behind you ends up crashing or ends up having a collision, basically. And people have been brake tested before. We've seen Max brake test Lewis before. We've seen what happens. But to see George, like, that was, I'm sorry, I was like,
The last time I remember George having something like that, and maybe you guys, because you know my memory, can remember the race, but do you remember last season when he was almost, I don't know if he was about to win or if he was about to come second, and it was all this very, oh my God, George,
Singapore,
oh my God, was it Singapore? And then he crashed like on the last lap.
he
And
was
he,
getting
and did,
pressured.
yeah, exactly. And didn't he also try and come up with his own strategy or something like that? I remember it being one of those races where George's strategies are coming through. And it was just, it really took me back to that moment. I was just like, what a shame. And I know he wasn't going to be second or anything, but just what a shame, man. Imagine going all that way and putting in all that effort just to fail at the last hurdle. But you know what? I think it makes these athletes again just seem like real people, because that happens to everybody in the real world. You put all your work in, you work your ass off, and the last hurdle you fail or you get a no or whatever. It can happen to the people who are also at the top of their game. So
I'm so sorry. He was given a drive-through penalty, which was around 20 seconds. But I don't understand exactly what
are you
Alonso.
talking about
We've got a
Alonso?
brake testing. We've
You're
seen
talking about
brake
Alonso,
testing.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Just for everyone listening.
Sorry. I'm just reading things. My bad. I forgot this was a podcast. My bad, y'all. But literally, I'm just reading it and I can't understand because he went into the corner slower than he did in his previous lap. That's what they're calling brake testing. I'm very confused.
So are they saying that that's the reason that George crashed?
But why is that? They're Formula One drivers, no? Their reactions should be like this.
Even
Going
quicker
into a
than that.
corner slower. If anyone is like a freaking Formula One engine expert that listens to us, let us know, like, why is that so bad going into a corner slower than you did the lap before? I don't
Because
know.
I think it's because the stewards are probably deemed that as you're deliberately trying to hold George up. You're deliberately trying to, obviously, because don't forget George is behind him doing X amount of miles per hour behind you, and if you're going into that corner slow, knowing that someone's behind you, like, are you deliberately trying to cause a crash? Are you deliberately trying to slow him down? But it was interesting that he's saying that, Anita, because it was like he didn't actually touch him. It's not like he touched George. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought
So
actually.
apparently it was the dirty air that ultimately caused the incident. So Alonso tried a different approach into the corner and the dirty air that followed, because George was too close to Alonso at that corner, the dirty air is what threw George off. But I'm like, as an F1 driver, you know how close you can and can't get to a car when you're trying to overtake, especially going into corners that you know you've got to dip out at one point if you are planning to overtake because of the dirty air. So how much blame can Alonso actually get for this? This
Well, he got
and
enough.
you know me, I will take anything to not defend Alonso. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? But I don't think Alonso is what to be blamed to the point that he gets a 20-second penalty. Do you know who should have got a 20-second penalty? Max Verstappen, Saudi Arabia, 2021. Thank you. But
I love the
hey,
way in
Oh
there.
my God, I'm dead.
that's a brake test.
I'm dead.
Anywho, we are not going back there. We're not going back to 2021. We're in 2024 now. So let's move.
Anytime, yeah, I can reference the rules of today and compare it to 2021, I will do it.
In
I
fairness,
will
we
do
did
it.
say that. We did say that a few episodes ago that we have to let it go. But if there's a time where it is particularly relevant, not that this is, but if there is a time that is particularly relevant, then Anita can bring it back up again.
They want to talk about brake test. I'm gonna show you a brake test. Sheet.
The only extra notes really that I had was how happy I was for McLaren, Oscar Piastri, and Lando Norris finishing. What was it? 3-4, 3-4.
I think this is the most podiums someone's got as in Lando without winning.
Oh,
Been
he
happy
will
about
get there though. He will get there.
it.
Maybe
When
not in McLaren, but he will get there.
okay. And you know, okay, maybe not in the next 3 to 4 years. Do you know what? I'm
No, it's
joking.
got to
I'm
be before
joking.
then. I can't wait that long.
I'm joking. I
Oh,
love
okay, sorry,
Lando.
sorry.
I absolutely love Lando Norris. But for me, the fact that Oscar Piastri, whether it was a sprint race or not, it was a race. has won a race before you have within such less podium time than you've had, it startles me. And I know sometimes it's not his fault, but sometimes it is. And I think on Sky Sports they were talking about when Lando could have won the race. I think it was in Germany in 2021 where it started raining and he didn't
He
come in
didn't
to change for
change his
Inters.
tire, didn't want to listen, and you were out there
Bro,
skating Bambi, and then Lewis went on and won it, and it was like, well,
bro.
what happens when you don't listen? And then like, oh, change your tires. It's raining. It's forecast. And he was like, nah, I'm gonna be okay. You actually could have won that.
And it's like, how long is the media gonna keep babying him? Like he hasn't won a race. What's going on? Not he hasn't
No,
won a
I
race.
get
He's
what
gonna
you're
come
saying,
soon.
but we
What's going
do
on?
also have to remember that lots of people haven't won a race in a really long time. Lots of people haven't won a race in what feels like 2 years because Max has won almost every race. So we need to cut him some slack. I mean, I feel like for me, any driver who comes second, when Max has won like 10 races in a row, any driver who comes second has basically won. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. You can't just we have one person who's just winning every single race. If your car's not good as the person who's winning 50 races in a row, I mean, can we really blame them?
It's not even that. It's just opportunities. There's been opportunities after opportunities, and he hasn't taken them.
Really been like one or two opportunities in 200
Belgium,
years.
Belgium, Monza, what's it called? Germany. That's three off the
Yeah.
top of my head.
He's had actually some opportunities where he could have even won. Hold on, when did he come second? Was it in Monaco?
He's
I
come
think
second so many times, but this is what I'm saying. Like he's come second quite a few times, but he's against Max. Like I'm not gonna personally, I'm not gonna
Sometimes he wasn't.
penalize. I'm not gonna penalize Lando Norris for coming second against Max Verstappen.
How about him penalizing him for coming second against Daniel Ricciardo? Monza,
When was that? What season is that?
2021. I remember that season like the back of my hand.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, sorry, 20 was yeah.
And you know what? I know it was team orders that told him that he's got to stay behind Ricardo, but he was the faster car in 2021. And I think Will Buxton says it the best. To be an F1 driver, you have to be a bastard sometimes. Daniel Ricciardo has had many, many wins. Not many, but he's had a number of wins. You hadn't had your first one. Do you think any engineer is going to call me up and tell me, oh, stay behind Daniel? No. I am the faster car. I'm going in front. I don't care. He
I
should have
know,
done that.
but this
But
was
let's
3
not.
years ago. So like Lando then he was a bit newer, he was a bit younger, he was a bit less experienced, and he might not have had that confidence to push like that.
No. Daniel, Lando Norris has been in Formula One for a very long time.
Yeah,
No,
but then was like 3 years ago. Do you see what I'm saying? Back
not
then,
for long enough.
I don't know, man. I'm not going to penalize him. There
You
are
gotta
people
have
who have
balls
been in
like Lewis
Formula One
Hamilton.
longer
You gotta
who
have
could
balls
be
like Lewis
winning.
Hamilton. You gotta have the balls like Max Verstappen. You gotta have them. You gotta have the balls like
I think
Fernando
he's getting
Alonso.
there now. I think he's starting to understand it a bit more now. But him 3 years ago, he probably wasn't. Do you know what it is? I'm just imagining, like, if I was an F1 driver, I'd probably be the same. I'd be like, okay, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. I know that he's supposed to come in and like Ollie Behrman, I'm sure he's supposed to come in and just absolutely smash it and knock it out of the park. But not everybody's like that. Not everybody has that big dog energy. Not everyone has that, like, oh, I need to be
Formula One, you
aggressive
have
and
to go.
mean.
Have
Like that.
to.
Because they're
No,
whining.
I know you have to, but not everybody's going to have that. And some people will have to learn that over time. And I feel like that's Lando.
I feel like he's learned a little bit too late. Now we're in the Max Verstappen dominant era, the Adrian Newey car dominant era. And it's still a thing where you still have had opportunities. Oscar Piastri won his first sprint race. Did he have two heads? No. You didn't win your sprint race, did you? No. Right? So he still had opportunities there in this Adrian Newey, Max Verstappen era. I'm not saying that I'm tired of Lando because I really want to see Lando Norris get a win at one point in my life. But I'm just asking the question of what is going wrong with you that everybody else around you can win and you cannot. George Russell has won a race. Carlos won his first race. Leclerc, he'd been winning races, but he won a race. You know, because they had that dog in him. You remember when Leclerc won one of his first races at Monza? And he was up against who? Sebastian Vettel. Like, come on. There's just a point where you have to start asking relevant questions and stop saying, "Oh, it's gonna come someday, honey."
And
When's that day?
when is it gonna come? Because let me tell you,
Okay.
I want to give you a hug, Shanice. She's
I feel like we're back
coming
on the season last year when I'm just being cussed out just for
I
caring
know
for
what-
people's mental health and their well-being. I'm joking. I'm joking.
oh my God,
Shanice, you kill me.
bless her.
Okay,
Oh.
fine. Yeah, Lando, pick up the pace. I need you to crack her whip.
I ain't being funny, but you're the one that decided to support McLaren this season. I'm not quite sure.
I'm still supporting McLaren this season. I've been supporting them. I don't care. I'm so proud of those boys for coming 3-4. I think it was a brilliant result. In fact, this was actually my perfect race. This race right here, Australia, it was my perfect race. We had a catastrophe at the end, shock drama. We had Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc coming 1-2. That's my dream. Ferrari back on top. We had Max down, down and out. Don't always want that, but for this race, I'll take it. And McLaren, 3-4. I'm here for it. This was my perfect race.
Should have stayed at home.
Who was your should have stayed at home?
Mercedes. Yeah, very easily Mercedes. I'm
That's
sorry.
actually, that is a good one.
Mercedes as a whole, you should have stayed at home. Toto, especially with the interviews that he's been giving, keep them at home. They're embarrassing me. Lewis Hamilton coming out, what did you say? It was lap 14 with an engine failure. Embarrassing. George Russell going into Alonso's dirty air and falling on his backside. Embarrassing. The whole Mercedes garage, just embarrassing. No points. There was no point of them racing. They should have easily stayed at home and taken Max Verstappen with them, seeing as Toto Wolff keeps saying that Max Verstappen is his first pick to replace Lewis Hamilton.
I don't want to hear that.
That's not about business. I support drivers, not teams, honey. I have no team allegiances. You can take Max Verstappen. I'm going to head off to Ferrari next season anyway.
I'm getting anyway. But if it was, so mine was Mercedes, but also I tempted to say Williams because how you turned up and how you
Oh my God, we haven't spoken about Logan Sargent.
This
how
was a
you
good
started
one.
the season with
Okay.
only 2 chassis, not even a spare one, just in case something happens for emergencies, like i.e. like what happened in Australia.
Oh man.
Oh,
Listen, how you gonna penalize a driver when he didn't do anything wrong and then ask him to sit out a race? This
Oh
is
my
what
God.
this is what he's come for. Like, and then say, well, we're gonna give Alex Albon his car for the weekend after Alex Albon had an accident. And I'm like, excuse me, we don't have a chassis.
Okay, I do need to interject just quickly though. I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate it because obviously Logan Sargent hasn't done anything wrong, and it was Alex's fault because he crashed, etc., etc. I think the issue here was if Logan Sargent had been a decent driver for the last 2 years, they would have made Alex step out. But Alex was their best chance of getting any sort of points. So let's keep it real. The only reason he had to take that chassis was because Logan was never going to cut it. So you've got to give somebody a chance to get some points.
It doesn't make it any better.
No, it doesn't. But the chassis had to go to Alex. I would have, if I was a team principal, you had to make that decision.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to make that decision in the first place.
It's not just the chassis; it's the
car. He took the whole car. He took Logan Sargent's entire car and raced in his car.
Did you imagine?
How disrespectful that is.
Rude.
It's so rude.
But Logan Sargent isn't good enough to be driving in that car anyway. That's why
They
he
should
had
not
to
have
take the
renewed his
car.
contract. They should not have renewed his contract. I'm so sorry. They shouldn't have.
True.
That is next level embarrassment. As
but
in,
you know
I don't think
what?
I'd forgive people. Did
But
you
not
see what Max
well.
Verstappen said?
It's
Max
about
Verstappen
it's
was like, I'll
about the
never let
fact
that
that
run.
What did he say?
Max
Wait,
was like, he'll never let that run, as in, like, he wouldn't even be in the paddock supporting.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Not like, but to Max's point, imagine Logan Sargent having to let that happen. That's the shame. Imagine your boss coming to you saying, "Oh yeah, really sorry, I know you haven't done anything wrong, but we got to give you a comment to Alex." That's when you feel shame, because that's when you know if I've been doing a better job, they would have just let me keep my car and carry on racing.
Yeah, but the whole car, like you took my whole, you took everything I've got this weekend and you gave it to the next
It's
man.
dog eat dog, remember?
These
actually-
girls back it up, babe.
I mean, she's
Dog eat dog out here. Maybe if just been a bit better, a bit faster.
Oh my
You
God,
know
Shanice.
what? You got me. You got me. It's
I
it's
think-
just so awful. Like just seeing him not race, having to watch Alex race in his send him home, let him go be with family or something. Like he came all the way to Australia to not race, to watch somebody else race in his car.
But
You might
Alex
let
Albon
somebody
still
else
got a
fuck
better
his girl.
position in his car.
Hmm?
Alex Albon still got a better position in his car, not
But he
in
didn't
his own
even get
car, in
points.
somebody else's car.
He didn't get points.
Wait,
But it was still 11. I mean, Logan Sargent wouldn't have got wouldn't be P11, would he?
But guess
He'd be
what?
like
They would have
hold on,
finished
hold
on
on,
the
but
same
you didn't get
points.
You didn't get point. You didn't get point. You don't get point.
No,
with
I
P11.
know, but he was still pushing for that. Yeah, he was P11. Do you know what I mean? Logan Sargent would have been nowhere near that.
No, I'm so sorry. The whole thing, it reeks. Like it actually stinks. It bombs. And I feel so bad for Logan Sargent. I want better for him.
How
And
the
you know
tables have
me,
turned.
the
You know what was
tables have turned, man.
when the team principal James Vowles came out, yeah, and he made a statement about what was happening, and then Alex made a statement, and then Logan made a statement.
Oh,
If you look at all their statements, each statement got shorter and shorter as it went along. Like when by the time it got to Logan, he couldn't even say too much. He was like, "Yeah, like this is a situation. It's very unfortunate." Blah blah. Like, well, I actually I kind of felt bad for him. But then, like what you said, Shanice. Obviously, if he was that better driver and he could get points, he would have been in the car. But the thing is, Williams, you sacrificed him like the sacrificial lamb, and he actually didn't get any points.
And
As
do
in,
you know what I was really worried about? That Alex crashed obviously his own car. So what would have happened if he'd crashed Logan's car? Do you know what I mean? Because it could have happened. That I was really worried about that. It was a dangerous game they were playing doing that.
and then you also got to put into perspective, yeah, that your F1 car is your baby. Like it's literally your baby. It's your girlfriend. It's your wife. Like your F1 car is everything to you. So something happened to you. I'm telling you, you might as well fuck this girl. I promise you. It would have been less painful.
oh my God. No, but it is everything. And it is everything because you would have maybe a different setup to your teammate. So you're
Yeah.
literally stepping into someone else's things. You're stepping into someone else's home, someone's house, and just being like, I'm gonna drive your car to today. It is sad. But you know what? Also, this is a wake-up call for Williams because you should be starting the season like this. We are 3 races deep, and you come with what? Not even a spare chassis. Are you mad? How are you going to start the season like this? You don't have spare parts. Are you taking a piss?
I
You
honestly don't know how Williams are still like in F1. I really don't. And
Jesus,
and now I don't. I just I don't.
it's
Not in
bad.
a bad way. Like I love the history of Williams, etc., etc. But I do think it's cutting it fine. I mean, we've already had so many team names switch ups, new sponsors, new this, new that. How Williams are still in this is beyond me. Maybe in a good way. Maybe, it's well done to them for continuing to stay in this. But we don't even have just
It's bad.
The heritage. Heritage.
The thing is, yeah, James has come from Mercedes. You've learned from the best. You've learned from Toto. You mean to tell me you didn't learn what was going on over there and take that with you to Williams to know that you come with spare parts. You come prepared. I'm sorry, but I don't think Claire Williams would allow that to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe they ain't got the peas.
Back in power.
Maybe they ain't got the money.
Yeah, sacrifice it with someone's wages. Do
They
something.
probably, not someone's wages. Come on.
Yeah, you can be like, you know what? We're gonna have a little budget cut so we can get a spare chassis. Just
The
in case.
out here making redundancies, Don't let her be a team leader. Don't let her be a CEO from anyone because she's out here ready to cut your ass if you make a mistake.
Imagine being in part of the team and you get made redundant and then you find out they're buying a new chassis.
Oh my God, please can
I
we
ain't ever saying that word chassis. It's chassis, okay?
yeah, say chassis.
Funny. So yeah, but for my should stay at home, it was definitely between Mercedes and Williams. Shanice, who's yours?
I'm gonna go with, and this is for no particular reason, it wasn't even really his fault, but I don't think I'm gonna ever get this opportunity again. I'm gonna go with Max Verstappen. Should have stayed at home.
Hey.
Because I feel like I've never had him as much should have stayed at home in the last 2.5, well, I don't know, however many years we've been, whatever, I'm not going to get this opportunity again to say, Max Verstappen, you this week should have stayed at home.
You.
Yeah. Yeah. But and it feels like a cop out really, because it's for no particular, it's not even on him. It's, it is on Red Bull really, but he is so dominant that I feel like this will be the you heard it here first and never again moment. Max Verstappen should have stayed at home.
Right. He was your star boy, Shanice.
I'm so glad you came to me first, because I'm just thinking we're all going to have the same one, but I'm going to go with Carlos Sainz. For every reason everybody already knows and has mentioned for the last however many minutes on this pod, it just had to be Carlos Sainz. 2 weeks ago, he had an operation, he came back, he gave it his all, and really showed, if you really want something, what you can do and what you can achieve. And I was just super proud of him and Ferrari, but it also made me feel fully confident in Ferrari next year that Lewis can go there and win races. And that's what this is more about, really. Ferrari proving themselves to make sure that Lewis can, win races with them. And maybe his 8th World Championship.
Someone put up a post on Twitter that said, "Oh, Lewis is smiling now because he's looking at his winning car for next year."
Yep. Because the way that car is functioning right now, it's just getting better and better every single year. So next year, honey. Anyway.
Yeah, my star boy was Carlos as well, to be fair. Like Carlos, so the fact that you came out of hospital, straight out of hospital, you haven't had much practice. And you even came actually to the previous race. Where was it now? Saudi. So you actually were there. And I was like, you were sick. Like you were actually sick. Like you came to Saudi and it was like, nah, actually, babe, you actually need to be in a hospital resting. Like you don't need to be here. But I get he was like, don't forget about me. I'm still here. And I don't know what prayers were said in that hospital bed. I don't know who he was summoning, what happened, but let me tell you, it worked. And let's see if you can take this to Japan.
Yeah. That's a really good point, because I really hope this isn't just one of his peaks again and then he'll have a trough and just dip again. I really do hope he's going to continue pushing, but he needs to, because he needs a seat next year.
It was nice.
The thing is, for my star boy, I really wanted to try and be different and try and choose somebody else, but there's absolutely nobody worth choosing. Nobody.
Agreed.
Nobody rose to the occasion. Max Verstappen has left the room, exited the chat. Nobody said, "What's the new strategy? What we gonna do?" Nobody kicked up a fuss. It just has to be Carlos. For the same reasons that both you and Shanice have said, Simone, it just has to be Carlos, and I don't need to give an explanation.
Yeah.
Mic drop. Because
the thing is, it's kind of like, even Perez, your teammate is out. This is your time.
Perez knows his contract.
It's an easy win.
He knows he's not getting a renewal.
Where did he go? Does anyone know where he went? Is there where did he go?
That man knows.
I just don't recall even hearing or seeing Perez the whole race.
He doesn't care. He's not getting a contract renewal. He's probably got a seat for next season with somebody else in the grid. He does not care, that man. I'm telling you, come July, June, it will be announced Perez going to X, Y, and Z, because he just does not give a shit anymore. You have the fastest car on the fucking grid. You ended 5th or 6th.
No,
Yeah.
oh yeah, 5th. Yeah, sorry, yeah, it was 5th.
Lance in 6th, and that Lance being 6th is saying something because
Bruh.
no.
This is what I
Bruh.
mean. Lance is pushing up behind you. Perez, this could have been an easy win. I don't know what happened. Having said that, this time last year we said the same thing. Something started happening to his car. So who knows? Who knows? But I think he didn't push hard enough this week.
No, he absolutely didn't. And like you said, it was an opportunity. I do know that I think he had come on the radio and said like there was a little bit of an issue with his car. It wasn't too much of what happened to Max. But even so, like you should have been pushing. Like if you'd have won this race, oh my God, do you know what this could have done for you? But Carlos said, boy,
And the thing is, it's
oh,
not like
I'll
you've
take
just
it.
got, yeah, and it's not like you've just got certain drivers like beating, being better than you. It's whole teams. It was whole Ferrari team was before you. Whole McLaren team was before you. It wasn't one McLaren driver, or a one Ferrari finish and then a two somebody. It was whole teams when you're the one who's got the best car on the grid.
I know, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And it was nice to see the celebrations with Ferrari. It was nice to see that 1-2, they really deserved it. That sea of red, I was like, oh my God, like I haven't seen that in a minute. Like in a minute, I haven't seen that. So the celebrations were beautiful. And
I'm learning the national anthem. Italia, Italia. I'm telling you, I'm learning week by week. I am learning that anthem, honey. I'm going to be there at Monza next year singing it. I've got to blend in. They already don't like me because of my skin tone, honey. I need to blend in somehow. Buongiorno. Listen, I spoke Italian for GCSEs. Trust me. I'm gonna be there.
when they started singing that with the passion
Italia.
on chest.
I promise you, this time next season. Ha! Buongiorno, mon ami. Trust me. Wait, mon ami is French, isn't it?
Sorry, I don't know
At
how
one point, I thought you were talking French. Anyway, when you were like buongiorno, I was like, oh no, actually, I think that is Italian.
Buongiorno.
Yeah, bonjour is actually French, or buongiorno. Yeah, fair enough. I was like, I won't correct though.
Buongiorno, mon frère. No, we'll
yeah.
get there. We'll
I
get there.
don't know.
We're
If anyone
read it.
listening speaks Italian, please come and teach Anita, and then she'll teach the rest of us. 'Cause I can't bother to learn right now.
We will be there. That's all I'm saying is we will be there in Italy celebrating. Like I even had to wear little red today. I had to grace
Jeez.
because I was like, come on, Ferrari man. We better. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
I'm sorry, but we are. I listen, Mercedes. Who are they anymore? Who are they?
There. Block my number, delete. Thank you.
Don't call me. Just don't even bother calling my number. Like,
Block me back.
sorry. I don't even want to know them. Like, I don't even want to be associated with them. You know what I
So
mean?
shy for them. Like, I'm actually so shy. Like, ugh, embarrassing, man.
Who are you?
George.
Who
But
are
can
you?
Max
You're
Verstappen.
all right. For goodness sake, you've been doing this for about 60 seconds going, ooh, yeah, bye. Ooh, yeah, don't block me. Ooh. I'm just like, you two okay? You haven't stopped for about a whole minute
We're
just
in pain.
saving
It's
and
the
blocking
pain.
Mercedes.
It's the pain. Trust me, babe.
I feel
Because
like you two are particularly hurt. Though. Like, that's what's making me like, I feel like you guys are proper hurt. I feel like
yeah,
you are let down, you're down and out, you're hurt, you're ready to cuss, you're angry, you're emotional, you're just Mercedes, I'm done with you. Like a relationship,
yeah,
It
It's
is.
like you've just got rid of that toxic guy or that toxic person or just that person who you thought you had your whole heart invested in and now they've let you down and they're out.
100%. Hit the nail on the head. Yep.
That's exactly what it feels like. And I don't want anything to do with them, to be honest with
No.
you. Not like you are just really showing your asses this season. And it's just like, ew. What
You know, when
happened?
I knew I was fed up 2 weeks ago, yeah, I was cleaning my house and I needed a cloth to just wipe down my window. I used my Mercedes stop.
No, no.
I'm done.
Oh.
I'm done.
Wow. So you've stopped wearing like your partner's t-shirts. You're now wiping the windows with them. That kind of relatability here.
Yeah.
I don't really want to be seen in my Mercedes.
Ugh.
I don't really want to be seen in it.
I remember I used to wear the Mercedes cap to the gym. I ain't doing that no more. Ugh.
Wow, this really
You
is
know?
a new season. This is unreal. This is a new chapter. Guys, this is serious.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm going to do with the merch I've got, to be honest. I mean, I'm so lucky it's got 44 on the back, but I don't really know what I just like. I don't want to wear it. I
Oh,
don't
you can do. It's memorabilia, you know? Just pack it away, and in about 50 years' time, bring it out, give it to your kids, and say, this is when Lewis was winning.
Oh, but they might make a comeback in 50 years' time and it'll be worth big money.
You never know what can happen. I'm not
Those
gonna
vintage football tops are worth big money.
You see the first Lewis Hamilton winning a Ferrari shirt?
No,
Wait, I will be there. I
Listen,
will be there. I will get the jumpsuits, the shirts, the jacket. I will be there. The hat.
I'll be a part of the crew, the pit crew.
Bruh, pit crew. I'll even get a tire. I will get a tire.
The jack and the tire is a little prop. I'll die.
You know what I saw actually that my friend bought his son for Christmas, and I saw it at the house, and I was like, I felt that's when I knew that I was going away from Mercedes. Is he bought him the Lego Ferrari to build, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, I want one. I fell in love.
Maybe we can build one next time we all link up.
Yeah. Okay.
Too much?
No.
I'm here for it.
No. I saw it and I was like, oh my God, like I want it. You don't understand the joy when I saw this toy Lego Ferrari, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in love. And I don't even want a Mercedes.
No.
I want this Ferrari one. It's so cute.
This is how you know that they've got you when grown-ass women are on this pod talking about how much they want Lego. They got you in a grip. They got you in a hold. It's
Yeah,
the
got me.
It's gonna be that 1 year honeymoon period. Like they've got you good, gripped up.
Ferrari got to carry on the momentum though, because don't think next week I won't switch back. So you've got to carry this on, okay?
Period.
It's gonna be so much joke because I was thinking, I cannot believe that you girls are that you cut off Mercedes that deep. But
because for less.
When your boyfriend is not good for you anymore, you have to let him go and let him fly.
But if the new one ain't saying that in a couple of months' time, you're ready to take him back.
Yeah, 100%.
No.
Got a dibble and dabble. You know, it's the dating phase.
Right, you know, we have holes in different area codes, but we've just got holes on different
area codes.
It's about the dip and do.
Oh, wait, no, same continent, different countries. My bad.
It is what it is. Anyhow, girls, we gotta go. So we are in Japan next. And Anita said she gone to the intro.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we had it recorded. We've got it on record. I was gonna say record, but as in we've got it on record, but we've got it on record.
You guys are gonna have the most ghetto intro ever. I'm gonna be like, bend that ass over, make that coochie breathe, shake that ass, hands on your knees.
Yes, I love
I'm
that
gonna bring a
song.
boom box and everything. I promise you.
I'm here for it. That's the beauty of it. I want to hear ghetto intro.
Don't worry, I got that for you, honey.
Well, let's just hope that we have a good win. And it isn't.
Oh my God, yeah.
It isn't a Red Bull win. Max's car continues to fuck up. And Mercedes, you know what? I don't want to talk about them. It's all right. And you know what? Shanice, you're actually right. We didn't really talk about any of the Aussie babes, did we?
We didn't need to.
It's okay.
They weren't hot topics. We're just saying something on a home race. They weren't hot topics.
We'll see you for the Japan race in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. See you for Japan.
Have a good Easter.
Oh, happy Easter.